Israel issuing evacuation orders for southern Lebanon and Gaza, warning of an imminent attack. But aid workers say thousands are trapped in the region with nowhere to go. Our next guest knows the cost of war firsthand. Bours was abroad on a conference, when the October 7th attacks unfolded. An IDF reservist, Aaron rushed to Israel to aid in the fight, deploying to Gaza and seeing heavy fighting. During a firefight in Gaza, Aaron was shot in both legs by a Hamas sniper, he says, as he tried to save his commanding officer. Aaron was safely evacuated, but spent months in a hospital recovering from his wounds. Now Aaron is putting that recovery on hold and speaking out against the anti-Semitism he says is rising on college campuses. Aaron joins us now. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much, Anna. It's great to be on your show.
Let's start back on October 7th. What was your reaction hearing about this firsthand?
Yeah, so I think like many Jews around the world and many people who just believe in humanity and, of course, the sovereignty of Israel, were horrified to see the events unfold on October 7th. Those of us who live in Israel, who were abroad, like myself, it's really hard to be away from home at times like those. So I was safe in a hotel, the Encore in Las Vegas, looking out onto the Vegas Strip. Meanwhile, all hell is breaking loose in Israel, and I actually got stuck there. So I was called up with my unit. We're in the Southern Command, and at the same time I was called up, Delta had canceled my flight, and I scrambled to get back. It took me 3 days to rejoin my unit as we prepared for the unknown, which was eventually to go into Gaza as part of the first wave of the ground operation.
Yeah, and you say you did deploy to Gaza pretty soon after the attacks. Once you got there, what was that experience like? Anything that surprised you?
So I think we understood for the last 20 years that Hamas has essentially hijacked a Palestinian future. From birth, their education system teaches that violence is the only answer, that jihadism is the way, that martyrdom is something to aspire to. And I've grown up understanding that. And here I am, someone relatively privileged from Long Island who has a great education, who learned both sides of the conflict, who understands the nuances. But over there, unfortunately, in the Gaza Strip, that's exactly what we found, were cases where radicalization is the only way. And so I went into about 20 different homes, but mind you, homes are a relative term. So we went into a residential area in the north of the Gaza Strip, and most of the houses were in some way connected to terrorism. So if there's something related to, something on the walls that's related to martyrdom, so posters of people who had tried to commit terrorist acts, who had succeeded in committing terrorist acts. I found munitions in a children's bedroom closet. We found tunnel entrances where homes should have been. So essentially, homes that are used as decoys to hide tunnels. And so all of this firsthand is really, for a native New Yorker and just your average Joe, very horrifying to see that that's a way of life there. And of course, I feel for the Gazan civilians who have had those lives hijacked by Hamas, a terrorist organization.
Yeah, you seeing with your own eyes the Hamas terrorists acting like cowards, hiding under, homes, like you said, schools, hospitals, like we hear all the headlines. I know this is really difficult for you. Thank you for taking the time to talk about all of this. Can you take us back to the day that you were shot? How did all that unfold?
Absolutely. So you mentioned schools. So exactly, Hamas unfortunately takes schools, places of worship, hospitals, and flips them into command centers, weapons depots, battlefields. And we knew that, but we leave those things standing anyway. The IDF doesn't try and take out that type of infrastructure. By nature, it's in our code that we're not trying to take out those type of buildings. So the school was left standing. It's an UNRWA school. Within it, there was a tunnel, a weapons depot, and 4 Hamas operatives hiding, waiting to ambush us. There was a sniper behind the school as well. They shot my officer first. I ran out to try and save his life, to get him inside. They were shooting at me like crazy, AK-47, sniper bullets. I got shot in my right leg by a sniper bullet. And then while I was crawling back to the house, saving myself, I got shot by an AK-47 in my left leg. It's a miracle that I have both my legs. It's a miracle that I'm actually alive. I was evacuated, and I've been recovering for the last 10 months. I spent 5 months in a hospital. So I know personally the unfortunate effects of Hamas using that infrastructure, abusing UNRWA, and then, of course, that school, a hiding place for the people who eventually killed my officer and injured me as well.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.